Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Woah Damn Podcast. My name is David Ashalaja, your host, the one and only, and I just gotta say, I'm excited to have y'all here at the first episode. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get to it. Now, today I will cover a bunch of topics from COVID 19 to how that, hinders Christmas, to the elections, which we have just completed in our nearby country, the United States of America. But before I get to all that, I would love to tell you all about Anchor. Anchor is a very wonderful platform. It is what I am using right now. And just to give you a brief description of what it is, they will assist you with podcasts. It is so easy to go through. You just have to download the application, make an account or log in with any social media accounts that you have, either it be Google, your email, or Facebook. They share your podcast with every platform that you can imagine. Talk about Spotify, talk about Deezer, everything. They spread it for you. It is effortless. You do not pay anything. It is 100% free. Once again, easy to use, straightforward. If you're looking to do a podcast, Anchor is what you should consider. Thank you. Now that being said, let's get underway, shall we? First of all, I would like to talk about the elections. The 2020 United States of America's election. Let's take a look at our opponents. We have Joe Biden. Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, you know him one way or the other. Everybody knows him. Fan favorite, I believe. And then we have Donald Trump. Now, I am trying to think of a word to describe Donald Trump, but I can't necessarily place him and his character on just a certain word. Why? Because he's just Donald Trump. Like, he is just Donald Trump. That is how I can put it. But final votes, 290 electoral college votes for Joe Biden, 232 for Mr. Donald Trump. As you all know, it's only 270 needed to win, so that means Joe Biden won the 2020 elections, Donald Trump lost, and you have Joe Biden as your president. But that will not come into effect until later in January. Now let's look how the election went. It was hell. It was hectic. It was sad. It was on the edge. It probably kept some of you up night after night. Why? Because it took a long time, not a day, not 2 days. It went all the way into the weekend. This election was probably one of the most memorable ones to ever have been held in American history. And shall I say, we Canadians, we also had a little part to play in it too, because we were watching too. Well, it was a good election to watch. As I'll say, the results were what most people would have wanted, as we can all see that Joe Biden is a fan favorite, and we over here in Canada, we just happen to, support him too. But notwithstanding that, no matter who you vote for, no matter who you supported, it's an election. Democracy is democracy. Winner wins, and the loser, well, we all know how that goes. The elections proved to be something of a turning point in America. As we can see, there have been various movements happening over the past few months. Let's talk about the Black Lives Matter movement happening in every city you can imagine in the States, and even here in Canada also. Although it's not as serious in Canada, but we still have, peaceful protest. We have people sharing on all platforms, talk about social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Yahoo. People are, just trying to put forward this idea, trying to put forward this protest, trying to put forward this, view that black people, we do matter. And I hope you all supported it. I supported it myself. It's a great moment to be part of. Why? Because each and every person matter. No one deserves to be treated unrightly because of the skin color or where they come from. We are all one, and we should love each other. And then we got the police and, people talking all that. That is just something that has been really hectic. But as I would say, it's 2020. It is 2020. That is just all I'm gonna say. It is 2020. This year has been tumultuous for all of us. It's been messed up. It's been unexpected. It's been just wow. That's just all I can say. Just wow. But let's get back to the election. So we have Joe Biden as the new president of America. He will get into the White House sooner or later enough. January. Now, Donald Trump. A lot of people said, "Oh, Donald Trump now is not going to exit quick. He's not going to leave as smooth. He's going to make the transition a little bit shaky or a lot shaky." And unfortunately, that's how it's been after the election. He has filed lawsuits in several states. He has, said, "Oh, this is what happened. That is what happened," putting forward many bogus claims concerning the election, talking about how it's been rigged, or talking about how certain ballots were not counted, or certain ballots that were not meant to be counted were counted. Guys, as much as I don't want to say this, I mean, he is a full grown man, and I just gotta say, the only way that you can really, show that you're a mature person is to just accept some things that you're meant to accept. Accept that you lost, move on with it. There are many other things to do in life, Donald Trump. I just gotta say, but that is on the side. Now let us talk about COVID-19. The pandemic that has ravaged pretty much the whole planet of Earth since the beginning of 2020. I live here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I just gotta say, there was a time when I was happy. There was a time when I was glad I lived here. There was a time when I was ecstatic, as a matter of fact. But then COVID-19 came. When it came, we were doing all good. We're having a few cases per day, and that did increase for a little bit. But we made a breakthrough, and we were able to bring it down to about, I think, we brought it down to 2 cases sometimes. And we actually went a few days or probably weeks without any COVID case. And then it reared its ugly head. We had a first case, and then we had 2 more cases, and then we had a few cases, and then we had a lot of cases, and now it's just banging on the doors of everybody. COVID-19. We got more restrictions imposed on us on Thursday, and that was a bummer. But no one wants to have restrictions imposed on them, but at the same time, everybody's still just living their life. A lot of people say, "No, I'm tired of staying home." They go out, "I'm gonna go get a drink." And you never know. That place that you go to get a drink, there might have been a person with COVID there. And then you get back, you go out, you go into your car, you go home, you pass it on to your family. You might have people in your family that are healthcare workers. They have to go out. And then they go out, they go to their work, they go to the hospital. And then it just makes the whole thing worse. So one thing that I'm gonna say is, I beg each and every one of us listening to this podcast, I plead, as a matter of fact, please stay safe. Please do not go out unless you have to. That being said, surprisingly, a lot of people seem like they have a problem understanding what need means. Now, I'll say a need is different from a want, guys. A need. A need is something that you cannot do without. A need is something that you necessarily must have in order to successfully and just be yourself and live your life. According to the dictionary, a need is defined as requiring something because it is essential or very important, expressing necessity or obligation. Now, guys, I don't think fast food is a need. I'm just saying that, in my situation, it is not a need because I'm home. I have food stuff at home. I know how to handle the kitchen myself. So I do not think it is a need. And the only people that I really, really see fast food restaurants or eateries, being a need for are the people who work there, the healthcare workers who probably need to order takeout sometimes because they're really home due to the crazy amount of cases that they have to deal with. The workload is immensely huge. So I won't be surprised if healthcare workers are the ones going to fast food, which I think they truly deserve because they have really put in all their time, all their effort since the beginning of this year, and I really appreciate them. Now, we don't need to kid ourselves, guys. If you don't need this, please do not go out to get it. You can do without fast food for that 1 minute, that one day. If you're craving it, you can do without it. Lock yourself in your room. Get water, get cereal, get something else to satisfy yourself with. You don't need to risk your life or risk the life of others or jeopardize everything just because of fast food. Or you want to go see your friend. Or you need to run out to say hi to someone because you haven't seen them in a long time. It's just fair to let you know that there have been people who haven't seen their families in weeks, months, probably. Some haven't seen them since the beginning of this year. That's how bad it is. I have parents myself who are healthcare workers, and it is really tough when I see, I have a Snapchat account. I see people every time saying, "Oh, this person just got positive." I see on the news, "Oh, so amount of cases. We just had this number of deaths." It traumatizes me and scares me every time because I don't want that to be my parents. I don't want them to go out and not come back one day because they got diagnosed with COVID because of the mistake of other people who didn't need that thing that they went out for. A want. What is the definition of a want? A want is to have a desire to possess or do something or wish for something. A desire to. A desire to. That is the main word. If you desire that thing, you do not need it, okay? If you desire bubble tea, you do not need it. If you desire to go see that friend who you haven't seen in months, you do not need it. You can call, you can FaceTime. That one hug might be the difference between life and death for some people, okay? You got to think about your family. You got to think about old people. You got to think about young people. You also got to think about yourself, guys. As selfish as that sounds, it might just be what you need. Put yourself in the worst situation possible. Imagine you get COVID. Imagine you pass away. That is messed up, guys. Like, I personally, I don't think I want to pass away. I do not. So just please make sure you guys are staying safe. Make sure you all take care of yourself. And that is all I will say for COVID. Now let us talk about Christmas and how COVID is potentially hindering Christmas. Now, guys, we have restrictions imposed on us. Wherever you are, either it be Winnipeg, Manitoba, either it be Ontario, Toronto, Calgary, Alberta, Saskatchewan, it doesn't matter. Even in the States, even in other countries around the world, any place that still has the COVID 19 pandemic, which I believe most countries do, it is a big problem. And we're getting closer to the time of the year where the annual Christmas celebration comes up. I am sure that we'll have families that we want to see. I am sure that we'll have that one person that we will have to say hi to. I am sure that we'll have that one person that we want to, do a little something with under the mistletoe. Keeping my eyes and my mind closed away from all inappropriate thoughts here. I am sure that, they're just family traditions that have to be held on Christmas. There are things that need to be done at Christmas. The joy of Christmas, the Christmas spirit. But COVID 19 wouldn't allow us to do that. And it is up to us, guys. If we keep on doing things the way they are and we keep on going out, we keep on breaking the rules, we don't listen, we do things because we want to, not because we need to, then it'll be very, very unfortunate because Christmas is going to come and we will not be able to celebrate Christmas. And then it's going to be a whole problem because then people are going to start complaining. But we have to realize this is our fault. It is not a government's fault. It is not the fault of the healthcare workers because they are really, really trying the best 24/7, day by day. ICUs are full, emergency rooms are full. They're doing the best that they can. Let us try not to stress them out, but help them out. That is what should be on our mind. Do not stress out the healthcare workers who are doing so much to support us. Let us try to help them out, help their situation, so that this whole thing can go away and we can all have a wonderful Christmas. I just want all of us to have a wonderful Christmas. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas. Have yourself a Merry, Merry Christmas. That is what I want to hear. And I don't want to hear it from the person that I have been in the house with for 9 months. I want to hear from them and from my neighbor and from my family that I haven't seen in months. I want to be able to go out and actually see those people. But if there's still COVID 19, we cannot do that. So, this is my plea to everyone that please try your best to stay away from anyone that is not in your household. Try your best not to leave your house if you do not need to leave your house, and just do whatever you can to do safe. Now, it is very tough for some of us to stay home. I myself, I've been home since the pandemic began. Sorry. I haven't had much to do, as I would say. I'm a university student, so obviously school is something that has preoccupied me, and I will be talking about that in my next episode, how school is and how COVID-19 has, impacted school and all other things relating to that. Uh, but I would say that it's been pretty hectic just trying to cope in COVID-19, staying at home. But I'll just give us some pointers and some things as to what we could do to help us out while at home during COVID-19. what things can we do to help us out at home in COVID-19? So some things I'll suggest will be sports. If you have a house, you have a backyard. It's fun to get out, it's fun to play, but stay in your backyard, get active 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. That's recommended. But we have so much time on our hands nowadays. We have so much freedom on our hands. Even if you're trapped inside your house, anywhere that you can stand, anywhere that you can lay down, anywhere that you can spread your arms, that is a workout space. You can get up, you can do a few jumping jacks, you can do some push ups, you could jog on the spot, you could dance with your family, your loved ones who you're trapped with at home. Just doing things like that, it really gets you active because staying at home for long periods of time, which we have since the beginning of the pandemic, it will take a toll on our bodies. And it is not going to be a positive one. It is going to be one that will most likely be negative. And I am pretty sure that nobody wants to have to go through that because it is a change that will impact us in many ways more than one. So let's keep that in mind. Doing whatever you can to be active, either it be dancing, either it be exercising, just the little things. And other things that could take our mind off, problems of corona and being at home. We should try some things in our house. Try being in the kitchen more. Try cooking more. There is there are various companies that will ship you food baskets or food boxes or food packages to your house for you to individually prepare them yourself. 30 minutes a day in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, 30 minutes in the evening. Just trying to work your hands through something. And I know some of us have school, we have other things like work that we're doing at home during the day. But whatever free time you have, instead of us just sitting down, pondering and know what's going to happen next, we could take that time to do something positive, something that's going to benefit us and benefit our mental health, because that is really important. So, going in the kitchen, cooking, baking, doing whatever you can, making pastries, even if you're not making anything necessary that I want to eat, making something just to get your mind off of the problems. It will really help a lot. It will take your mind off of things. It will give you joy. It will bring happiness to you, and it will make you not stressed out. Because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. This pandemic is stressful. It is really, 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 really tiring. It is really, 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 really tiring, I would say. And a lot of people will, get worried. A lot of people's mental health will start to take a dive. And it is very hard to cope with things like that. So just try your hands on whatever you can do. Try to keep yourself always occupied. What other things could we do? We could play games with our families, our kids that are home, or when they get back from school, if you have kids that still go to school, or just you yourself. Try to make things arts and craft. You could go to your nearby grocery store or have them ship things to your house. You could order. I know places like Walmart, they have online ordering where you can do. There are other applications, Instacart. You can order from stores and deliver it to your house. Let's buy some things, arts and craft, call your kids together, call your family close, get together with your loved ones that you've been at home with in your house, make something, draw nasty pictures, funny pictures, silly pictures. It doesn't matter what you guys do, just keeping yourself occupied and keeping yourself away from the brooding, the depression, the worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen the next week, the overthinking things, the imagining every negative possibility. Because I'm going to tell y'all, if you have time on your hands and you have nothing to do, which most of us are faced with, like that's the challenge we face nowadays, it is very, very easy for negative thoughts and negative, actions to kind of come into your minds easily. And that's why you start thinking, oh no, the corona is still happening. How am I going to live for the next month? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? But we got to get out of our own skin, break out of our habits, and stop worrying. Get ourselves preoccupied with good things. And, those are a few pointers that I would just like to give us. If you guys listening have any other thing that you would like to add, I am very, very, very open to accepting all recommendations, suggestions, and interactions. You can send them to my email at abioshai@gmail.com. That is my personal email. And you can respond to this podcast also. And it will be very appreciateful. I will thank you guys so much. And, it will help a lot as this podcast is one that I hope to be very interactive with everybody involved. And yes, that will be all that I have for today. That will all that I plan to cover. I spoke about the elections in the United States of America. I spoke about the corona pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, and I spoke about Christmas, how that will affect the upcoming Christmas season. And we hope that that is not what happens. On that note, I would like to go out and this podcast. But once again, I'll just like to remind you guys this podcast is sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is a very useful platform that helps people of all backgrounds, of all races, of all technological, abilities. It helps them go forward with the podcast. It helps you spread it out. It's a very easy to use tool. All you have to do is come on, create an account, and you just start going from there. You record yourself, and guess what? All you need is just a device. It doesn't have to be a huge setup. You do not need to go purchase a mic and then a setup and then a PC, a monitor, this, that. No. All you need is a device, and that is so